Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's head outside, take a look outside our weather window. And boy, a difference from yesterday to today. Lots of sun yesterday, clouds and some light shower activity around a lot of north central Washington. And that really didn't kick up until about mid-afternoon today. And showers will continue as a cold front and area of low pressure moves through. And watch out if you are traveling into the Cascades over the next 24 hours. Winter travel conditions will exist. Heaviest snow overnight tonight and into Friday. Look at that. 12 to 18 inches of snow is possible around Stevens Pass, and almost that much, 8 to 12 inches for Snoqualmie. So be very, very careful if you're traveling west. And we'll have more on your north central Washington weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. A Rock Island man who escaped from jail while awaiting his trial in 2021 is now fighting to overturn his sentence in that trial. If you thought Lake Chelan's premier water park had given up its fierce battle over COVID-19 regulations, well, you're all wet. And if you felt the earth move under your feet yesterday in the vicinity of Nason Ridge, you weren't imagining things. But first, our top story tonight, U.S. lawmakers grilled TikTok CEO Shou Chew on the safety of the app earlier today. TikTok, a popular social media platform, is facing a potential ban in the United States. The House Committee on Energy and Commerce asked questions about harmful content and the security of the platform, which has raised concerns over the years. Representative Kim Schreier, who sits on the committee, focused on the potential health effects the app has on children and teens, specifically in regards to health misinformation.
I also heard today that well over 20% of the information is misinformation. We heard that about medical remedies that are not really remedies. We've heard it about mental health topics. I mean, this becomes very dangerous, especially when people who are not trained to think very critically are being given information and thinking that it's true. And you've said many times that the destructive information isn't available to kids, but it is. Like, we keep seeing examples here. And so I'm just wondering, what are you going to do with the algorithms? I mean, just because you're removing something that says anorexia, bulimia, or eating disorder, that doesn't do it. If you show girls repeatedly skinny bodies and advice on how to cook meals that are less than 300 calories, that's dangerous.
We have worked with, first of all, anything that glorifies eating disorders, we remove that from our platform. It's violative. We're working with experts now. It's a challenging problem for our industry, but we're actually identifying some of these themes that you're talking about and trying to build models where that kind of content is not chained up for the younger users. So it's something we take very seriously too.
A Rock Island man who escaped from jail while awaiting his trial in 2021 is now fighting to overturn his sentence in that trial. 55-year-old Christian Edward White is serving nearly 7.5 years in prison for fleeing police, hit and run, and violating a protective order. The State Court of Appeals ordered a special hearing after White claimed the Douglas County courtroom was not kept fully open to the public during his trial in July of 2021, where a jury found him guilty of all 3 counts. At the time, Douglas County was holding trials at the North Central Washington Fairgrounds Civic Center. That was due to COVID-19 protocols. On Tuesday, visiting Judge Kristen Ferreira heard testimony on whether White's friends were able to access the Fairgrounds courtroom consistently during his 2-day trial. She's set to issue her findings in the matter at a later date. Well, if you thought Lake Chelan's premier water park had given up its fierce battle over COVID-19 regulations, well, you're all wet. Slide Waters was fined almost $10,000 by the State Department of Labor and Industries over its refusal to close its doors during Governor Jay Inslee's pandemic shutdown in 2020. The water park fought the COVID rules in federal court and lost at every step, including a refusal to hear the case by the U.S. Supreme Court. But its appeal of the $10,000 fine remained in Chelan County Superior Court, where it's set to be dismissed this week due to a year with no activity in the case. But Slidewaters filed a status report yesterday that keeps the case alive. It suggests a local judge could rule on the legality of the fine sometime this summer. Well, if you felt the earth move under your feet yesterday in the vicinity of Nason Ridge, you weren't imagining things. The Pacific Northwest Seismic Network, which tracks earthquakes around the region, says a magnitude 2.7 trembler went off just after 3 p.m. It was centered about 3 miles deep under the ridge. That puts the epicenter about 20 miles northwest of Leavenworth. There was no report of any damage or injury from that small quake. And just for guidance and reference, magnitude 2.7 is at the low end of the scale for measuring the strength of an earthquake. About 500,000 quakes of that size are recorded worldwide each year. Well, when we come back, the Apple Blossom Royalty Court represented Wenatchee at the state capitol on Tuesday. A Wenatchee third grader designed the winning logo for this year's Apple Blossom Youth Parade. And Wenatchee's high school mock trial team is heading back to Olympia this weekend for its annual statewide competition. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Welcome back. In another news, the Apple Blossom Royalty Court represented Wenatchee at the state capitol on Tuesday. Queen Scarlett Cron and Princesses Dylan Schmitten and Natalie Pearson spent time with Senator Brad Hawkins and met with other 12th District Representatives Mike Steele and Keith Gaynor. Hawkins took the time to interview the royalty, asking them about their Olympia experience. Here's a snippet of their interview.
Ladies, tell us a little bit about your day so far at the Capitol and also what you're looking forward to here.
I mean, we've gotten to tour a lot so far. I think this room has been probably my highlight. It's just so beautiful in here, and also the chandelier when you first walk in is massive, so that's been really cool. I think what I'm most looking forward to, I don't know, the whole day has just been something that I've been looking forward to the whole time. We're one of the first groups that's gotten to do it since COVID, so.
Yeah, and we've already had a chance to meet different, my Senate colleagues. You've given them applets and cotlets.
Yes.
I know they really appreciate that. And Scarlett, is this your first time at the Capitol?
This is my first time at the Capitol, and this was just something that I was like so excited for since I saw that they put it on the calendar. I mean, my brother went to college in Olympia, but I never actually went here, so this has just been really cool, and like I really am interested in like state and local politics, so just learning a little bit about what it looks like and how legislation's passed. It's been a really cool day.
Awesome. And Dylan, have you already, as a royal court, had a chance to do other visits in the community as well?
Yes, so we've been to a couple schools, and then we go to a lot of service clubs, which is really fun. And then we actually did go to Quincy last week and Rotary, yeah. So all the service clubs, that's definitely a highlight.
Brad, you're hired. And speaking of Apple Blossom, a Wenatchee third grader designed the winning logo for this year's Apple Blossom Youth Parade. We're all in this together is the theme devised by Coralie Collins. Her work was chosen from submissions by kids in grades kindergarten through 8th throughout the Wenatchee Valley. The 2023 Apple Blossom Court surprised Coralie yesterday at her school. The Learning Well with prizes including a t-shirt and $100 cash. She'll be honored in the Festival Youth Parade coming up on April 29th. Well, Wenatchee High School's mock trial team is heading back to Olympia this weekend for its annual statewide competition. The Wenatchee High School students will take a side in the debate over swatting. That's a form of criminal harassment that involves reporting a crime to create a heavy police response against a victim. Team advisor and Wenatchee High School social studies teacher Reuben Hart said a dozen Wenatchee High School team members will attend the two-day event starting Friday. It's sponsored by the Washington YMCA. This is the first year for in-person competition since the COVID-19 pandemic began. In the online event last year, Wenatchee High School mock trial participants came in 5th out of roughly 40 schools competing. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story where we will introduce you to Ellie the cat, available for adoption at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Possible rain showers in our Friday forecast with cooler temperatures expected this weekend. I'll have all the details in your complete local forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
I chose a career at Confluence South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence South. Come grow with us.
Merry Maids of Wenatchee is growing and looking for good people who take pride in their work and satisfaction in providing great customer service. You'll be part of a team and the benefits are great. Competitive wages, flexible hours, paid holidays, vacations, and sick days. You'll get weekly paychecks, and if you drive your car, your mileage is reimbursed. The owner, Tawny, wants you to know you'll be part of a family with long-term team members, many for over 10 years. Call Tawny at 663-1710 or go online, merrymaidesofwenatchee.com.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Time now for our weekly Pause for Pets feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Tonight we meet a cat named Ellie.
Hi everyone, my name is Haley and I'm with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and with me this week is Ellie. Ellie is one sweet girl. She really likes pets and attention, and she clearly knows what's behind this door and she wants to explore a bit. Ellie came in pretty matted. She's still matted right now. We're working on her daily with brushing to help get rid of those mats. But just so a future owner is aware, she will require daily grooming to help keep her long hair sleek and mat free. When she is content, like she is now, she'll roll over, show you her tummy, lets you pet the tummy. She rolls over, she's very sweet. Right now, she's been pretty adventurous. She makes new friends every day. She's been good with our volunteers and the volunteers that have kids, so she should do well in a kid home. She was a little bit shy when she first came in, but as you can see, she has blossomed into the social, sweet, outgoing girl that she is right now. She'd be like the perfect cat to hang out with, like, and watch TV, because she just wants to hang out and cuddle. She probably would do well playing with toys as well, just because she is wanting to be active right now. She's just a ham, and everyone loves her here at the shelter. If you're interested in coming down and seeing her, we're open every day except Wednesday, and we're open 11 to 6 and closed 1:30 to 2:30 for quiet time.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Thursday was a good one. Not quite as warm or sunny today as we saw yesterday. Lots of clouds beginning to move in, or did move in, I should say, mid-afternoon today, and some showers up in the higher elevations. Still made for a beautiful shot from our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi Tower camera. 54, our unofficial high today. That's just a degree below where we should be at 55 for this time of year. 73, our record high, and that was back in 1960. We started off at 37, a couple of degrees above 35, which is normal for this time of year. Record cold, and that was 25 back in 1964. Sunrise 6:58, and the sun sets for us this evening at 7:18. Taking a look at what we can expect as we get you into Friday. Not much rain, as much as we expected today, but tomorrow there's still a chance. Temperatures will be a little bit similar to today, maybe a few degrees cooler. 52s for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. Will be a little bit cooler back to the west and north, but not much cooler. Still in the lower 50s for Wenatchee, Entiat, and Chelan. Leavenworth tomorrow, you will see a high temperature right around 49 degrees. We'll show you why. There is an area of low pressure that's pushing across southern Canada, and it's also a very strong northwesterly flow. Here's our cold front in western Washington, and there's that shower activity around the Cascades spilling over into our area. Good chance for rain in Spokane as well. Friday, really no change. We might even see some thunderstorm activity down around the Tri-Cities for Friday. We'll stay with about a 30% chance of rain. High tomorrow in the low 50s. Kicking off our weekend on Saturday, mostly cloudy skies. Big area of high pressure building out in the Pacific. But as that low continues to move across Saskatchewan, we will still see some clouds Saturday, and cool with highs only in the upper 40s. For Sunday, mostly cloudy skies. Here's the next storm system that's sliding down the coastline. It's not going to produce a lot of shower activity. Mostly cloudy for a Sunday and a little bit cooler. Highs again in the mid to upper 40s. So yeah, that's quite a bit cooler than we've seen. And then as we kick off our next work week, that low will continue its southward trek. That'll leave us with mostly sunny skies. We will be slightly warmer as we kick off our work week with high temperatures near 50 degrees. For Tuesday, partly cloudy skies. We'll call it seasonably cool. Remember, our normal high is 55, and we're only going to be about 50 for a high on Tuesday. Getting you into the midweek part of our next work week. Look at this big flow from the eastern side of a high pressure ridge. That will produce some cloudiness on the other side of the ridge, but it will be warmer on Wednesday. We should see highs in the low 50s, and it looks past Wednesday that we'll be in the middle to upper 50s by the end of next week. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast. 32 tonight, chance for rain tomorrow, and 51 degrees. We will see a cool weekend, mostly cloudy both days. 49 Saturday, 47 on Sunday, and then a mix of clouds and sun Monday through Wednesday. Slow warm up too by Wednesday. High temperature around 52. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz, I should say Eric Granstrom, and more as the NCW Life Evening News continues right after this.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today? We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way.
Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up. Time warranty.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Shoot, I think I left my keys in the kitchen. Can you grab them?
Yep.
Find them?
What's this?
It's a locking bag. It keeps Grandma's medication safe.
But I could just take it.
Well, for one thing, it locks. And if it were gone, I know there's a problem.
Huh. Well played.
Help prevent opioid misuse before it starts. Visit getthefactsrx.com.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday to you. It seems hard to believe now, but Wenatchee nearly lost its hockey team 10 years ago. Current Wild general manager Bliss Littler says the ownership back in 2013 surprised everyone by saying he was taking the team out of town.
It was interesting because we came out here. We're here for 1 year, and you know we were playing in the Robertson Cup final. We get beat, and Bill Stewart comes in afterwards and says, I'm going to Rio Grande Valley tomorrow to announce we're moving this team there. And I said, okay. I go, when we make the announcement on the BCHL team? And he said, we're not. They don't deserve a team there. I'm going, whoa, that's not what you've said all year. We're going to the BCHL. And, you know, a few weeks later in steps David White, and like I had no relationship with David, and like I say, who knew? Who knew that he was going to turn into, in my opinion, the best owner in all of junior hockey? And I've worked for some of the absolute best, and whether it's in Billings, Montana, or Omaha, Nebraska, Tri-City, Nebraska, that I've really worked for some of the real who's who of junior hockey over 30 years. And I'm not saying it because he signs my paycheck right now, but there is nobody that does a better job than David White at providing for his staff.
Thankfully, the Whites kept the team in town, which moved to the BCHL in 2015. They won the league title just 3 seasons later and have been a playoff team in all 7 years of the league, including this season. Wenatchee will host the Trail Smoke Eaters this weekend to wrap up the regular season. Friday's game starts at 7:05, Saturday's till at 6:05. After a slow start, Littler says he likes what he sees from the Wild as they wrap up the regular season.
There are a few things that end of August, we lost 3 defensemen. And so instead of getting out of the gate feeling that we'd be challenging Penticton for a championship, it changed things quickly and put us into the position that we had to develop some defensemen fast. And, you know, we get out to a 2-8 start. And now we're 5 games over 500. So, you know, since our first 10 games, I think that means we've played 12 games over 500. So I'm real happy there. And at that time, I knew that a couple of things, that Clarkie and his staff, that they'd make the guys better, that they weren't quitting. And just being here for 11 years, I knew that our fans wouldn't quit on the boys. And so, yeah, right now I'm pretty happy with where we're at.
Heading into the final weekend of the BCHL season, just 3 points separate Salmon Arm in 3rd place and Wenatchee in 7th, with a 3-way tie between West Kelowna, Prince George, and Vernon in 4th place. Littler says come playoff time, Wenatchee could prove a difficult opponent for whomever they face.
I like they've stuck together. And believe me, in sports, when the W's aren't piling up, it's hard. It's hard not to complain. The easy thing is, hey, the better older kids let me go to a team and try to win a championship, and the kids stayed together. So right now, I think they're playing pretty well together. We knew we were going to score goals, and early on that we're a little bit slow, but now I think we're back in the top 3 or top 4 in the league in scoring. So I think we're going to be able to score goals. I like our power play. I like our penalty kill. I like the goaltending right now. So I think we're a dangerous out.
While Wenatchee's hosting Trail, here you see the rest of the weekend schedule for the league. If the Wild can sweep the Smoke Eaters, have everybody else go 1-1, that would vault Wenatchee into a top 4 position for the playoffs and home ice advantage. Well, speaking of ice, Seattle Kraken will try to win 2 straight on the road in Music City tonight. Seattle's in Nashville to take on the Predators. Kraken carry a 39-24-7 record into the game. Currently hold down the top wild card spot in the playoff chase. In fact, that game is underway at Bridgestone Arena, happening on Root Sports Northwest. Well, the Gonzaga Bulldogs are in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA men's basketball tournament tonight. They'll face the top-seeded UCLA Bruins at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Game set to start coming up at 6:45. That's on TBS. Well, the last night Mariner game over the Dodgers was all about Julio Rodriguez and George Kirby. Julio went 2 for 3 at the plate with the 2 doubles and 3 ribbies, while Kirby dominated on the mound with 9 strikeouts through 5 innings.
Crawford is aboard with 1 out. Here is Julio. Julio spanks this out to right field, and it's not made. Outman can't make the catch. Julio is on his way to third. Here comes Crawford. He scores. Julio is out. I guess Julio doesn't feel like it's spring training.
He'll pick up an RBI, that's for sure. This gets to the base of the fence quickly. A solid line drive out to right. Gets it back in quickly and just beats him.
Keegan Curtis, the new pitcher on the mound for the Dodgers, inherits a couple of runners. Into left field, a base hit. Pollock coming home to score. Hummel is right behind him. And here in the 5th inning, it's Julio 3 and the Dodgers nothing.
Well, he's going to get a breaking ball, just kind of hanging in the middle of the plate. Hits it towards the end of the bat, but it's a line drive into left. George typically is going to be in the strike zone. We know that about him.
Well, that time pumps 97 right past the swing of Barnes. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Kirby, a couple of punch outs. Can you walk us through what you are doing? Another strikeout for Kirby. Man, he's looked good so far tonight.
There's too much for it not to make sense. Oh, gassed up, shoddy.
Nice. Is back and expanded this year. We have a dozen items priced between $2 and $4. During the game, after almost every play, he's throwing foul balls up.
That is strikeout number 8.
I think he will.
Oh! It doesn't matter that it's spring training. That's baseball beauty right there.
Seattle's on the road in Goodyear, Arizona tonight to face Cincinnati. 6:05 game time. We're getting close to the regular season. For more on the Prep Sports calendar, head to our website at ncwlife.com. That is sports. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with our friend Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. On the next edition of my program, it's Jeff, it's Charles from North 40 Productions, and they have a brand new 75-minute documentary that's going to be debuting right here at the Numerica Performing Arts Center on Thursday the 30th.
Yeah, it's a great film. This film is for anybody out there who's ever tried to do something great and it just didn't work out and you had to move on to something else. So come out and enjoy the show.
Yeah, check it out. There might even be some live music from some of the band after the movie. We're just excited to be watching it down in Wenatchee.
The Bearded Wonders and me on the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, guys. And that'll do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.
Hello, television family. Grab your cup of coffee each weekday morning and join me. I'm Dan Kuntz, the host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's everything you need to start your day. We're live and we're local at 7 a.m. every weekday on the NCWLIFE